Some 200,000 homes will be made available to first-time buyers in England by 2020 if the Tories win the election, David Cameron has promised. The coalition government has already announced plans for 100,000 cut-price homes for people aged under 40. The PM said the Tories would double it if they gain power, to give more people the security of owning their own home. Labour said the plan was inadequate and housing groups warned affordable rented schemes would lose out as a result. First-time buyers under the age of 40 in England can now register to buy new homes at a discount of up to 20% off the normal price. Young people. The offer is part of the government's new starter home scheme to encourage home ownership and construction on previously used brownfield land. The 20% discount will be paid for by waiving the fees home builders have to pay to local authorities under so-called Section 106 agreements, amounting to at least £45,000 per dwelling on brownfield sites. The Conservatives say homes worth £250,000 outside London, or £450,000 in London, would be eligible for the scheme, and that first-time buyers would have to repay the 20% price advantage if they sold within 5 years. In a speech in Colchester, Mr. Cameron said there was a particular kind of security that comes with owning your own home that too many people have been denied, due to what he described as a quiet crisis in affordability. The young people in their 20s and 30s still living with their parents, desperately saving for their own place. The couple who want a child but can't afford to upsize, even though they have both have full-time jobs. It shouldn't be this way. Our goal is a Britain where everyone who works hard can have a home of their own. Not shoe boxes. He said Britain's biggest builders, including Barratt and Taylor Wimpey, had signed up for the expanded scheme, and it would be designed so that new properties could not be snapped up by buy-to-let landlords. He added, "We've shown what we expect starter homes to look like, not rabbit hutches or shoe boxes, but decent, well-built, homes with gardens, places to start and raise a family." Mr. Cameron said the UK had suffered from a chronic shortage of house building for decades, but that action taken during the last 5 years meant the UK was on course to deliver 200,000 new homes a year by 2017. He said a future Conservative government would also extend the Help to Buy scheme in England, intended to help those trying to get on the housing ladder who could afford mortgage repayments but were struggling to raise a deposit, until 2020, and make it easier for council house tenants to buy their homes. But Labour said the government had presided over the lowest levels of house building since the 1920s, and home ownership was at its lowest level for 3 decades. Speaking at an event in Brighton, Labour leader Ed Miliband said there would be no greater priority for an incoming Labour government than housing. The Conservatives are proposing to relax the obligations expected of developers in relation to affordable housing, believing this will give them more flexibility about the makeup of new developments and make more brownfield sites viable for development. But the National Housing Federation, which represents housing associations in England, said this would reduce financial support for cheaper rented housing. It is basically taking money away from people who are renting and giving it to first-time buyers, Henry Gregg told the BBC. All parties, he said, needed to show leadership to end the housing crisis within a generation by securing new investment for affordable, social and starter homes. Housing charity Shelter said 250,000 new homes were required every year, and the scheme was only a small step towards meeting that need. The number of houses being built in the UK fell during the final 3 months of 2014, the first such decline for almost 2 years. However, the government says 137,000 homes were started in 2014, a rise of 10% on the previous year and up 36% on 2012.